It is possible to configure the EasyChart component to be indirect and point to a set of historical tags based on a parameter. So here, for example, I have a whole bunch of tanks. I have tank 100 all the way down to tank 124. Every tank is identical and they have the same tags. So they all have a level PV tag and a temp PV tag, which are set to log to the historian, as you can see with the scroll icon. So I'm going to take these two tags and I'm going to drag it onto my chart so I can see the history of those two tags for tank 100. What I'd like to do is be able to use this drop-down list up here where an operator can actually select a various tank and they can see the history of those two tags for that tank. Right now, my chart is pointing directly to tank 100. And I know that because if I go into the customizer, I can see the tag path here says tanks/tank 100. The only difference between tank 100 and tank 101 as far as these two tags is just the middle name here. So I could just put 101, I can point to a different tag. So what I want to do is change these fields here dynamically. All the configuration that you have on the chart, once I press OK in the customizer, gets stored down here in a property at the very bottom of the component called tag pens. It's a data set. As you can see, there's two rows in here. If I go and look inside the data set, I can see the two rows. The second column here is the tag path that I want to change dynamically. So in order to change an individual cell of a data set, we can actually bind this data set here to a cell update binding. In a cell update binding, I can select one or more cells and I can dynamically bind them to a property or to a tag that we have in the system. So I want to change these two tag paths. So I'm going to select the first one here, click on the green plus icon down the bottom right so I can add it down below into the cell bindings. So what I want to do first is select this row and I want to go and use the link here to go and grab from the window the drop downs selected string value. I want to bring that in. And that selected string value is just going to be tank 100 or tank 101. It's that middle part here. I have to add stuff before and after it. So I'm going to double click and go to the beginning. I'm going to put the square bracket and then the tilde and then tanks / whatever this value here is, curly braces, and at the end / temp_PV so I can build out this path. I'm going to do the same thing for the second one. Click on the level PV, add it down at the bottom. I'm going to double click, I'm going to paste that in there and change this one here instead of being temp to be level. So I want to make sure that I'm binding the appropriate one here. The two tag paths, the first one's temp, so the first one here is temp, the second one is level, second one down here is level based on those row indexes. So now that I've got that set up, I can press OK. Now the chart is indirect. So if I go up here into my drop-down list and change it from tank 100 to tank, let's say 103, you're going to see, of course, the history for that come through. Let's go down to tank 105. You can see the date range or the value range here changed, letting you know that it's now pointing to the right one. I'll go back to tank 100 and you'll see it change once more. So it is pretty easy to make the EasyChart indirect. You have to go and change those tag paths that exist on the component.